you know how so many videos of Dan and I get done? We've been producing like multiple videos a day for like a couple months now. It happens because Dan and I just hang out every single day.
Yeah.
We just kick it nonstop.
Yep.
Yo, this is mainstream action right here.
Mainstream TV, baby. Mainstream TV.
All right, dude, let's tell. We've been sitting here and we haven't even told the listeners, the watchers, on the first episode of Zen Dude TV what's going on here.
Oh yeah, so check this out, guys. We love doing podcasts, so we're gonna do more podcasts. But then we were sitting here doing a podcast with our little cactus microphone. But we were sitting here and we were like, why don't we just film this? Because honestly, Brandon, you know, we talk about this a lot. Like, we really just want to have a TV show or a show where we can talk about things, like not as our sole business, but as part of our business. We just want to be able to communicate with you guys, with the world, on certain topics that we care about and that have to deal with living a healthy and happy life.
Well, you know what's interesting for me is that like the conversations we have are almost like cathartic. They're a catharsis experience. So that just means that like when I talk about things that I'm thinking about around like either my health or just like life, like the topics we cover on the podcast, it helps me kind of process my life a little bit.
Yep.
And like take note of like what's going on and like, you know, hearing yourself talk about something out loud and like, instead of just always being in your head is actually really helpful for just self-discovery.
And just hearing you talk about like the other person, because we think on the same wavelength a lot, or our lives are, like you said, like very combined. Like we spend a lot of time together. So typically if you say something, I'm like, I needed to hear that. Or it's like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's also a good reason why your environment is such an important thing. Like the people you spend the most time with.
Oh my God.
You know, they better be people on that same
wavelength. You can't do anything with shitty people around you.
Nah.
Like
that's a good one. That's a t-shirt. You can't do anything with shitty people. Nothing.
Dude, well, if someone's like depressed all the time, like let's say it's like your girlfriend, wife, or boyfriend, husband, like if you're around that all the time, like you start becoming more pessimistic. Like we're just energy, and when you're receiving that on a consistent basis, it sucks your soul.
Dude, I mean, to that end, like I know everyone can relate to this. Do you have, like there's certain groups of people that I see from time to time that like I go into it thinking, don't let yourself be negative after seeing these people for a few days, because like some people for whatever reason just like can be really negative, and that will spill over into your personality just because you're around it.
Negativity is just disease. That's what it is. It's a disease. Ew, man. You know what I mean, man?
Get that shit away from me.
And you know, when you making love to that disease all the time, you're gonna contract it.
It's very true. Making love to that disease.
You don't have to have intercourse with the person either. You could just
contract it.
Even if it's like friends they're kicking with all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's why, like for me, like I'm picky with my friends. Like I'm super picky, because if I hear like negative thought patterns like repeated from someone, then like automatically, unconsciously, I'm like, I gotta like spend like less time with this person.
I hear you, man. I agree with that. I mean, dude, I watched the movie Transcendence last night. It's with Johnny Depp. It's like the artificial intelligence. Like at what point do we all transcend and become part of AI if we're not already? And it really it just touched on the fact how like our brain is just a bunch of like signals and electric signals and chemicals, and it only makes sense that if you're spending time with other people who have those like negative like signals going off and stuff, that it's going to like scientifically affect you, you know, just by being around that. So I like to think of it that way too, because I'm like, it's not like an emotional thing, like I don't want to be around these people. I'm just a scientific object that if I'm brought around this negativity too much, then I'll become that automatically.
Yeah.
So I have to like get away.
Because like the humans are just like mirrors, you know, you're constantly mirroring the world around you to like create consciousness and understand, like make context of everything that's happening. And so like when you go into a situation where, let's say like you move to New York City and you start hanging out with people who have like really strong New York accents, you spend 20 years there, like you're mirroring people so much, and that's why you like develop a New York accent, and like you probably start to like take on this attitude that the people have around you. And that's why like you go to different, like you can go to whole regions and just see different type of people. Like happier people maybe live here, like more unhappy people live here. And like that's a really interesting part of like what statistics do. Like,
yeah. Dude, it's happening.
Giving us information.
That's happening right now. We've lived in Colombia for long enough where you do start to get, I'm not saying I'm like a Colombian person, but like the way that people talk to each other, the way that people treat each other and everything like that, it does spill over to you. Not just by learning the language, but like the mannerisms that I have with people changed when I moved to the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do a lot more thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of parce.
Hey, si parce.
Hey, parce. Which means dude, which is a great word.
Yeah, it is. Parcero for guys, parcero for girls. It means dude.
Yeah.
Medellin.
Do you want to talk about fun? Damn. Just getting myself pumped up.
Yeah, you know, you gotta.
Dude, you should lead workouts doing that with those sunglasses on.
Yeah. Do you look kind of like a cat? A leopard?
Ah, you look like Batman plus Catwoman.
Nice.
That's a compliment, by the way.
So if Batman and Catwoman had a baby?
Yeah, but it was still like more of a man.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's you, bro.
I'm the baby.
You the Catwoman baby.
I like to think Catwoman
Catman, Batman.
brought me into this world.
Yeah.
You know, she's always letting me play with that. See, I almost said something really important.
Oh, Brandon, you almost said that.
The P word.
Yep.
P-U-S-S-Y.
Careful. Stussy. Great company.
Anyhow.
Great t-shirts.
Yeah, let's talk about fun. So we pulled out the camera and started doing a show right now because we were talking about just like reflecting on when you're younger and like having fun is something that like you get in trouble for.
Well, we were talking about, I was thinking about our vision for this company and like I wake up every day. We were talking about having a mental snap. Did we get that on video? No. That's where this conversation started. Having like a mental snap where like the past few days, I've just been having more and more visions because Brandon's been having more and telling me about them. So I feel that like I've had a lot of, I had like a mental snap where I envisioned exactly like where we're gonna be, what we're gonna be doing. And we shared this with each other and it was like the same thing essentially. And our vision really has developed into this like, it's about like what you and I are good at is making people smile and getting them healthy. You know, like all that I want to do is make people laugh and make sure that they have a better lifestyle and they can live longer and enjoy it. We're going to be kicking it with you guys here every week, being more compelling. We will be more compelling. Oh, yeah, I'm ready to compel. So we have a reason now more and more every day to help people smile and laugh. And this vision like gives me a greater sense of motivation, like the overall picture.
Yeah.
And in thinking about this, my point was I've always felt like I was this person. Like I feel like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to because I was always the kid who like dude, I got great grades in all of school, but like I am the biggest, I didn't really cheat a whole lot, but like, dude, I don't fucking remember anything from school. Like I scammed my way to A's my entire life. Like I was the student who never really learned anything.
Yeah.
Like, and I just tried to, and like, to be totally honest, I envied my friends who were like really a lot more book smart because they just worked. Like they just read a lot of shit. I didn't, man. Like I did whatever it took to get a good grade, and I've always been that way, but I've always felt really good at being the class clown. I've always been the class clown. I've always been someone who's like, you know, trying to like make people laugh or smile. So my overall point is in being this person now and understanding this vision, I just wake up every day with this like greater sense of what I'm doing, and it takes me back to my childhood when I first had these epiphanies, like when my parents would say that I couldn't do things or I could only like sleep over at a friend's house this many nights a week. I was just like, why? Like all I want to do is have fun. And my dad would always be like, no, it's about like hard work, it's about like this or that. And I'd be like, this is dumb. Like I was always the kid who like, I'm not saying I didn't work hard. Like my dad is one of the hardest workers I know and taught me like a lot about hard work, which I utilize a lot now. But growing up as a kid, I was always just like, this is dumb. Like, I just want to have fun. Like,
Yeah, you worked hard because you had to. I was the same way, man.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, because I want to go hang out with my friends and have fun, so I'm going to get the grades I'm supposed to get to go do that. But it's like, when you learn that way, like you don't really learn. Like same as you, right? You go like you need an answer, like you find a little passage and you grab the answer out and you stick it in the hole where the answer is supposed to go.
Yeah.
And you get the good grade and you keep going. But it's like, yeah, I didn't care about any of that stuff.
It's like Legend of the Hidden Temple when you'd like stick the thing and you go like beep 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 and there'd be like a scary man that ran out and got you. Like I just remember as a kid growing up, and I've always had, maybe you didn't as much because like you didn't have a corporate job before this, but like even throughout college and high school and everything, like growing up, I was always like, is this fake? Is everyone else enjoying this? Like I'm not enjoying
Video stopped. Not sure when it stopped, but
I like where we were going before with the law of attraction and deciding that you can be whatever you want. Like I don't think of things now as I really don't think of things now as I can't do them anymore. It's I don't have time to like learn that, so it's not a big thing on my list. But I won't say anymore, no, I'll never be able to do that. Because to me now I'm like, oh, if you want to do anything, you just really believe that you can do it and just practice it until you can do it.
Just like the jump rope, you know? I mean, I didn't really know how to like jump rope until a year and a half.
Yeah.
And now I'm a jumper.
We see people in the dojo like that all the time. Who are like, I just started a month ago, and they're doing like all these tricks. It's crazy. If you set your mind to anything, I'm not gonna say that. I try to avoid using cliches like that, but to an extent, a lot of that shit is true. Yeah. If you want to make something, like
outside of it's like if you were I forgot what it's called. It's like this thing where your mindset around law of attraction stuff is just based in like reality and understanding like if you are 5'5" and you're like 36, you're probably not going to make the NBA.
Yeah. But no, yeah, that self-awareness obviously plays a huge part. Right?
Or you're never going to be a center. Like if you're 6 foot like one, you're never going to be a center in the NBA.
Yeah,
you're just not.
Yeah, I agree with that. There are certain things that limitations that you have to. Well, that Gary Vee talks about that a lot, and I agree with that too. It's like it's the example of you being a boxer, or like I don't know if you're good at piano or not, but let's say piano. I feel like it would be a more sensible thing for you to go after boxing because you're a very physical dude who's fast and could like do that maybe more so than playing the piano. I don't know. Maybe you're a phenomenal piano player.
I think actually, dude.
But
I think yeah. I do think I could piano. Just because I already know music. I already know how to read music.
Okay.
Music.
I was implying that you didn't know. I know you. Yes. My man here actually played the clarinet.
Trumpet.
Trumpet player up in here.
Man, see, that's just what having fun is all about. It's just being able to do things that other people view as maybe work, and you're like, I'm just gonna do this the best I can.
I agree, dude.
It's just like, it's fun. Like this is the most fun thing you can be doing. That's what it comes down to. Like when you do what you want to do, you're gonna have more fun.
Absolutely, man. You should just. I feel like to do this though, you need to lose your mind a little bit. You gotta go a little bit crazy because
you gotta break out of the linear way that most people view the world.
Dude, the mental snap. I keep saying that phrase, but like I was talking to Muhammad about this. We were in San Andres last week, and I was talking to a friend of ours who we met there. His name's Muhammad, awesome guy. He's living in Dubai, came to visit Medellin, and is now living here for a little bit. And that's what I was talking to him about, because he works for a healthcare company, like a software company, but for healthcare. Let's call it a software healthcare company. Software, health tech, whatever. And he was he was asking me like how I got to this point for my corporate job, and I was explaining to him, you need to there's certain things that, maybe you should save some money and like tactical things that you can do. But I was like, more important than anything, dude, you just have to like have a breaking point. Like you're not gonna do anything that you tell me you're gonna do until you just like snap mentally. Like you have this, it doesn't have to be some like revelation or crazy experience, but like a moment in time where you become so present and so like kind of feel this burst of energy or reason, motivation to do something. And it sometimes for me it was caused by discomfort. I woke up so thirsty for answers for like what my life was going to be that I was like, fuck this, man. Like, I'm so fucking tired of working in this company that I don't care about at all. It's like the best job in the world, but I do not care about what I say to people every day. For a majority of my day, I'm selling something that like I just don't give a shit about, and like cannot try anymore to give a shit about. And I feel like a lot of people, to create your own YouTube channel or quit your job and do something big, like I feel like you do need to like lose it a little bit. You need to like go through this breaking point where you're like kind of back up against the wall, like I don't care, I'm just gonna go out there and try, because the alternative of not trying causes more pain than just doing it.
Yeah, it is. We're just motivated by what's causing us the most pain. Always. People think it's like they're motivated by pleasure, but they're not. Like, we'll always do the thing to like avoid pain before we will to like gain pleasure. So like, we're just fear. I mean, it's just how our brain is built, you know? We're just motivated by fear. Like, if you get down to like someone's like the very deepest reason why they do what they do, you find out it's out of fear. And even for like people who are doing positive things in life, like if you ask me like, why do you do what you do? If you ask me and I can keep on going with that question, like I'll probably get to the point of like, because I'm afraid that like I'm not gonna like live my purpose. I'm afraid that I'm not gonna really experience life like I know it should be experienced.
Dude, that's another great point. That's on the other side of the conversation that we just had about like, you know, it's great that we do what we do, but like, yeah, man, I totally agree with you. Me personally, a reason why I work so hard on this is because I'm terrified of breaking out of the mold and not succeeding. I'm terrified that like the people who were like, that's a bad idea, you shouldn't do that, are gonna be right. I'm terrified that I'm not gonna be a millionaire who owns a fitness company and is this like public figure. You know, all those things are a lot of my motivation for doing this. But I also don't think that's a bad, like you should admit that to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm fully okay with that. I'm fully okay that my insecurities create opportunity in my life.
I think every person who is really, really conscious and doing big things in this world, they understand their fears. You know, they use them to like fuel them. And if you're gonna have a deep conversation with them, like that's like Tony Robbins' work, right? Like that's what he's always trying to get to. He's trying to find out people's like the fear that is like driving all their actions. And like once you know what that is, then like you can work with it, you know?
And every time you work with it and you break into some new uncomfortable zone, it's like a snowball, and you just get more confident, and that confidence makes you level up in another area. It just compounds and that's why you see people who are like really successful and they're like, and to other people they're crazy, but they're like, no, I can do anything. I create whatever I want. And a lot of people are like, they haven't even begun to explore that perspective. So it's like, that's why people say other people are cocky or arrogant or like out of touch with reality or whatever it may be.
Yeah. I would be curious to hear like someone's opinion who's like, you know, had a lot of mainstream success, like A$AP Rocky. If you heard this conversation, would you be like, yeah, that's completely what's going on? Because I really believe that like we haven't done anything crazy, but I feel like I kind of understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I think, you know, people like A$AP Rocky, or like, let's take most like hip hop rappers, for example, probably don't sit down and have like, well, maybe some do, I have no idea. But like, let's say he doesn't have conversations like this on a daily basis. Like, he's still doing and acting in ways that prove what we just talked about. Like, he has said before, like, if we're using him as an example, like, he's obsessed with being different, and not different just to be different and to get attention from other people, but because a very interesting or compelling thing to do is live your life in a way that has never been done before and explore new opportunities that no one has ever done before. So like when you're living in that headspace, like absolutely, man.
Dude, these clouds are always just ridiculous.
Wow. You guys see that?
I don't think they can. I'll let you guys check it out real quick.
Look at these clouds.
Alright, Zen Dude Nation, that's the first episode. We'll just let things kind of dissipate here.
Yeah.
Looking at these clouds. A little time lapse, shall we?